beautiful book nerds, it is I, Maddie. We are going to start a new series here on YouTube with a staple from my book talk. Whenever I was actively posting, we would do roll for reads. It's a little bit different this time. I have a pre-planned group of what the dice stands for. So for roll for reads, and this kind of ties into my absolute love and obsession with D&D. Back at the beginning of the pandemic, it was the thing that kind of kept me sane as a single mom with some mental health disorders. Being in the pandemic and being isolated like that and having to find a new way to form a community because I am severely anxious and don't want to endanger people that I love. So being in that aspect and not being able to go to therapy and things like that, D&D basically saved my life. It's one of the reasons why we have my D&D type tattoo. And I am a active member over on Quest Junkies. You may or may not have seen me talk about Quest Junkies here previously, but over the past few years, that has been my community of all my ttrpg spaces. We do things from Vampire the Masquerade, where I get to play a really cool, chaotic vampire. Her name is Teddy, and she is a Malkavian, which is somebody that struggles with mental health. And I really enjoy diving into that character, and we are just starting our new campaign over there. It is pre-recorded, so you should hear more things coming from me in the near future about Teddy, her shenanigans, and when that'll be airing over on Quest Junkies. We're also a D&D team. We also delve into Call of Cthulhu, and I actually ran my first game 5 years after starting into the TTRPG community. I run the Kids on Bikes campaign. It is called the AV Club. It's set in the 80s. Think Stranger Things, but these kids jump into different portals and get transported throughout the world. It is currently available over on Quest Junkies for your viewing pleasure if you want to see the different pieces of my nerddom and see what that is. But this journey is going to be roll for reads. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick one of my many D20s. Most of my D20s come from a little shop on Etsy. Or she was on TikTok. I believe she has changed her channel. When I first came across her, her name is Jazz, and she went by Beauty and the Booze. She would do dicey drinks where she would bartend and create mixed drinks based off of whatever she rolled. Korra's over here on the ottoman causing a ruckus. So most of my dice will be sourced from there, just because dice creators are fabulous, lovely, and we absolutely adore them. So we're gonna go set up. I will show you the spread for the roll for reads content, and then we will roll our first dice and pick a book based off of what we roll and go from there. So onwards to the first book of the blog. I think we're gonna do 2, maybe 3 books, so we'll have a few different rolls and a few different dice, and we will go from there. Okay, so this was my favorite spread that I made in my reading journal. This is my roll for reads. We're going to put the title, the author, the dice that we use, the roll that we have, and then, as you can see, this is the water damage from whenever my apartment flooded back in November of last year. So it's been really rough on content creating, just because I don't really want to use this journal, but I love the spreads and I'm going to use it because it still functions. But here is our list of the prompts, and this beauty is the dice that we're going to be rolling today. Do you guys see how stunning this is? Again, Jazz made this. I will put the link to her Etsy shop if anybody is interested in the handle. This is a chunky one, and it's one of my favorite dice that I have ever owned. She inked it beautifully. So we're just gonna roll this right here, and that is an 8, and 8 is a Zodiac book. I would get a Zodiac book for the first book. So our first roll is going to go right here. That is, my stand is not working, so that is not great. Actually, I think the book that we're gonna use is The God and the Gamiho. I don't know if it actually fits Zodiac. It could be for a few different reasons. Let me go grab that. So we're gonna go ahead with this one. It is some Korean culture, Korean folklore. So I feel like that feels Zodiac-y. We may learn some more things. We may change the book, but this is the book I'm going to go with for rule number 1. And I will touch base once I have made some progress into it. I've really been wanting to read this, hence why it has the bookmark. It just so happened to fit with what I feel, because it's a nine-tailed fox and a trickster god, so that feels kind of similar, but the vibes, a lot of these were picked based off of vibes alone. So we're gonna go with this one, and I will check in with you in a bit.
Oh, hello, beautiful, awesome nerds. You know how when you get sucked into a book and you forget to update your vlog? That is this book. So this was for the Zodiac of The God and the Gamiho. I kind of took it as an interpretation of Zodiac. So this dips more into Korean folklore. And you know how K-pop Demon Hunters has been like blowing up everything currently? I kind of wanted to dip still into this, and I had been reading a few other Korean translated books, so dipping into actual Korean lore was right up my alley at the moment. And this basically follows, and I know I'm going to butcher the names, so this follows a nine-tailed fox, which is a Gamiho, who is illustrious and what's the word for it? Infamous, that's the word. She is the Scarlet Fox. So way back at like a century, 2 centuries ago, she went on a murder spree in London and killed a bunch. So Gamihos can eat men's livers and suck their souls by kissing them. And she devoured somewhere up to like thousands of souls and just went on a spree whenever Jack the Ripper was a problem. That is Kim Hani. This is Sukka, I believe is how you say his name. He is the trickster god in the Korean lore, the mythos. Kind of how I into a different lore that I'm more familiar with, but kind of in the same vein of Loki, how they're trickster gods and things like that. However, he got expelled from the pantheon of the Korean gods because he tried to usurp his brother. So until he kills the equivalent of the unrulies, he is not allowed back, and he has very minimal godlike powers. So this book follows Kim Hani becoming his apprentice in the police department because the Scarlet Fox is thought to be at large because of something that happens, and then ends up being an unruly that escaped from their hell dimension because he is so bad he wants to destroy everything. I forget what he's called, but it follows them through this journey of trying to kill this god and making sure that she never gets figured out. So, and they're really cute, and they're banters, and it eats, and they slowly. This is yearning. This is slow burn. Idiots being idiots that are like, wait, hold on, is this? Wait, do I like them? Is that why I feel the way that I feel? So, that's what we're working with. I really enjoyed this one. I think I gave it a 4.5 and immediately made a trip to Barnes and picked up book number 2, because the ending and the way that this gets left off, I'm very excited to continue this series. So for the first Roll for Reads books, this is The God and the Gamiho, and it was a delight, and I quite enjoyed it. So I suppose we should probably roll for book number 2, camera quality, just because I'm lazy today and I just want to roll. We're just rolling the same dice that we rolled the last time. It's that chunky yellow made by Jazzy. I will link her Etsy shop. I don't know if she has a website now, but I've always bought it off of her Etsy site, so she does really cool stuff. Number 12 is Could Make You Cry. I rolled a 12. The fact that we have not rolled decent rolls at all and in general makes my D&D heart hurt. But just so we're clear, it was a 12. So a book that I think that can make me cry. Oh, actually, I know what it's gonna be because I just finished Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and from everything that I have heard, it is Sunrise on the Reaping. However, I will have to bring it back and fill you in on that, because my teenager, we got it whenever it released for him around Easter because he loves the Hunger Games. I mean, he'll be 16 in a couple weeks, and that's one of the first series that whenever he was reading above his age level, Hunger Games, first thing, because I love the Hunger Games. And that was before Ballad came out, and now we have Sunrise on the Reaping. So yeah, book that is going to make me cry. I just finished Ballad, and while necessary to understand how we got where we got, I am very invested in reading Haymitch's story. So that is what we're gonna do, because I really want to get to that book here soon. And everything else is kind of looking like maybe not things that might make me cry, but you know, we'll see what we're doing. I will follow up with you guys when we have more information. But yeah, we're gonna do Sunrise on the Reaping. Suzanne, the woman that you are, please don't rip my soul out of my body, please. Thank you, it's appreciated.
Korra, what do you got? Is this a Krabby Patty? Do you have the Krusty Krab? Get it. Get it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We have the Krabby Patty. Give me it! I'll throw it! SpongeBob's around here somewhere, too. Oh, he's right there. Watch. You gonna get it? Every time I try to get the crust of the Krabby Patty, this is what I get! Ah! Ready? Ready? Now dash for the Krabby Patty.
Please don't mind the mess that I am. I'm currently in Sunrise, and we got to find out who their mentors are, because no one has survived District 12, so they don't actually have mentors. I'm gonna cry because this explains so much as to why Haymitch wants them specifically. It's Virus and Mags. I love Mags. I can't wait to see what Mags is like. I don't know if she was always mute or if she was just mute during Katniss's games, but I'm so excited. I forgot that Virus won her games without actually killing anybody. That was great. Yeah, so this has already been emotional, as it is just the last 2 chapters specifically. This book is going to wreck me. Just quick little update, just figured I'd touch base. All right, back to reading. Toodles, book nerds.
Hello, hi, good morning, book nerds. So Sunrise on the Reaping absolutely fits the bill of making me cry. Now, we have not gone into full crying. There's a death, which of course there's deaths in the Hunger Game, and to try and keep this as unspoilery as possible. It's about halfway through the book, so if you know, you know. But this really reminds me of what happened in Catching Fire, and that this is the first time that this happened this way, where a pack of mutts literally cleans everything off of this tribute's body. All that's left are the bones, and Haymitch has to witness what happened. And all I can think about is Finnick Odair, who I refuse to believe died that way. He's managed to swim his way back to District 4, but that's neither here nor there. This poor tribute was a baby. And the way it ties into the trilogy just makes me want to sob, because I can't. And I'm supposed to be at work. Like this, I'm reading in between calls at my job, and this is what I'm dealing with. We still have about this much left to go, and I am going to be destroyed. Suzanne, you are excellent at what you do. But for the love of God, can you please quit torturing my soul with these books? Every time. Every single time. Shame on you.
Okay. We are in the last 50 pages. Haymitch is out of the games. We're about to, because we know Haymitch wins. That's not a spoiler. Unless you haven't read any of the Hunger Games, and then that's I'm sorry, but that's been out for a decade or more. We're getting to where he's announced the victor. So let's finish this book. I really love Effie. Oh no. Why would you want to see his scar? He's a person. This fucking book. Not Luella nasally. There's Korra. She just came back from a walk, but we are. Oh, Maisley. Wait, what happened? They completely ruined. Oh, no, 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 no. What did you do? Oh no. The cough. No. Oh, and I fucking hate snow.
I finished. Fuck you, Suzanne Collins, for the heartache that this book is. But also thank you. I will go stare at a wall now. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. What are you doing over there? Did you create a mess on my floor? Miss, I'm gonna dump my popsicle out. Don't head tilt at me. She created a mess over there. Do you see all of that? That was in her popsicle. No. Yeah. Clean it up. Clean it up, furball. This is what she does, apparently, at 9:30 or 8:30 in the morning. 9 o'clock. Clean up your mesh. Thank you. It is officially time for a new dice, and this time we're going to use the very first dice that I ever got from Jazz. Look at this. It's so freaking beautiful. Like, do you see the way that the light catches it? Oh, so beautiful, and it's chunky. The same as that one, but chunky. So we finished Sunrise. So let's go ahead and roll. And that's cocked. Hold on. 5 is author I've read from before. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see. Let me think. Beck.
Okay, so author that I have read from before. This one is on my 2025, or my 25 in 2025. This is the indie publish of the Atlas 6. I found this at a local used bookstore in Pittsburgh at the beginning of the year for $10. Like, indie published in perfect condition. There's no issues with this book. But as we step into fall, this is going to be my first read. Plus, it helps get me to get a book off of that, and the autumn challenge is coming up for one of the book clubs that I'm in. So, yeah, we can fit this in a few different prompts. So, author I've read from before is Olivia Blake. She wrote one of my absolute favorite books, which is Alone with You in the Ether. So, this light is not flattering, but it is like 10 o'clock. So, you know, new book. But I'll check in a little bit. See ya, book nerds. Oh, good morning, book nerds. Guess what? It's finally fall. It is September 4th. We are making some progress. I am about halfway through the Atlas 6. This is hitting the correct vibe for fall. I have been, since the tail end of August, I have been saying it's fall. Even though it's not fall, it was still warm. And it's still been warm a couple of days, but fall's a vibe, and you just have to feel the vibe. And today is such a dreary day. You can tell it's fall because, like, the clouds are gray. The sun isn't coming up until, what is it, like 7:15 in the morning. We have our coffee. We have our music for the day while we're working. But this follows 6. What's the word that she uses? So this is the indie publish. We've already discussed this. But there are 6 basically magicians that get selected to join the Alexandrian Society. 2 of them are physical kids. If you've watched The Magicians, that's what makes me think of. So 2 of them are physical kids. That is Nico and Libby, and they are rivals who I want them to make out. Just, you know, because there's tension, and I love it. And then there's a telepath, a empath, one that he can see through illusions, but maybe it's more and you don't really know what it is. And then there's Raina, who is basically like a battery. She's a naturalist who doesn't want to be a naturalist. She just wants to be an academic and study things. She's more interested in books and being a nerd, and I love that for her. Right now, they're kind of going through like the original tests, learning things, and they know that only 5 of them are going to get initiated, but they don't know the case of what is actually going to happen until like the last 10 pages is when shit starts to get real. One of them figures out what's really happening. There's alliances, there's studying, I just love Olivia Blake so much. Now, being that I'm reading the indie publish, I do know that she made changes to the traditional publish, and I have that upstairs. I love this cover. I'm so mad that they changed this cover when they went trad. Olivia Blake is one of those authors for me that I'm going to pick up every single book. In fact, Barnes & Noble is doing their 25% off pre-orders. Did I pre-order Girl Dinner that comes out next month? Absolutely. Have I read Gifted and Talented yet this year? No. Do I have like 3 other Olivia Blake books to read for fall? Yes. Yes, I do. I have Masters of Death, One for My Enemy, Gifted and Talented. Like, I love her writing, and she is not for everybody. This book is very pretentious. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. But that's the point. You're reading a dark academia book, which is about being pretentious and thinking that you're better than everybody. And these magicians or maidrins, that 100% on the wording that they use or how to pronounce it. But these 6 characters are so insane, and in the best way. Like, I just love them. Plus the art that is in this book, and I really want to know if the art continues. But like, this is, I'm thought this is Raina, I believe, but like the art is so good. And I think that it's in the traditional publish, but I need to check that to see if they kept that, because that's one of the things I love about this book in particular. As of right now, everything's flowing. I'm having a grand old time. She's a queen. I love her. I also really want to get the Alone With You in the Ether indie pub. So if anybody knows where I can find that doesn't cost me an arm and a leg, that'd be great. But I am going to probably finish this book today, because this is what we're reading for work, during work, in between calls. So yeah, the Atlas 6, I will absolutely be continuing on in the trilogy. I'm somebody hold me to this, because if you don't, I'm going to read the first book, forget about the rest of them, and then continue on my merry little way until I'm like, oh wait, I should probably finish this series. I'm really bad about starting series and not finishing them. So that's this check-in. I will talk to you when I have finished this book, and then we will go from there. But yeah, also I look like a hot mess, but I woke up, been at work for an hour. I am comfy cozy because, you know, I have a lot of health stuff going on right now. So fixing my hair before work is not really the top priority, because I'm dealing with some heart issues, and as a 36, almost 37-year-old, it's scary. So high key, make your doctor's appointments. Don't put it off and just say, oh, I'm healthy, because you might think you're healthy and then realize that some of the things that you've been struggling with over the last couple of years are not just anxiety. They might actually be an underlying health condition. So schedule your physicals, go for your annual exams, do the things. I as a single mom, I am the worst about taking care of myself. But I make sure that Talon goes to all of his stuff. So the not so tiny human is always taken care of. And I think that that's a thing for most parents, is that you remember to take care of your kid, and then forget to take care of yourself. I know that I'm like that. Take care of yourself, guys. You can't fill from an empty cup, and I'm really good about giving the advice and not taking it. So I beg of you, take care of yourself, drink some water, relax, be kind to yourself, grab your favorite book, and just take a slow week. Be gentle with yourself, and don't skip the appointments because you think you're healthy. Better safe than sorry, you know. And on that note, I'm gonna go read for a little bit and see what these crazy kids come up with. I will talk to you in a little bit. See ya. I finished the Atlas 6. I checked in with you about halfway, and halfway through is when things really started to pick up into the I want to come up with something for Olivia Blake, but like the Sanderlanche in that aspect. Things got crazy in the second half of this book. They find out the true meaning of 5 being initiated and 1 being eliminated. And the twists were twisting. I do stand some bisexual kings and queens. shit went down. It was glorious, it was messy, and did I immediately go on Pango and find a paperback version of the second book? Yes, I did. Will I be continuing this almost immediately? Hopefully, because I am notoriously awful at actually continuing series once I get them. If I don't have the second book on hand, I am notorious for not continuing the series until 6 months to a year later. So, but Olivia Blake has been cemented as one of my absolute favorite authors. This woman is fabulous for multiple reasons. My favorite is still probably Alone with You in the Ether, but that has a special place in my heart, and it is fabulous. So that concludes the first episode of Roll for Reads. We did The God and the Gamiho. We did Sunrise on the Reaping and the Atlas 6. So, what? One standalone and I just got home from school. One standalone and 2 series. I finished an entire series, finally catching up with Sunrise, and I still stand by that book. Wrecked my heart and soul. I had to pick up Percy Jackson in the interim. In order to kind of deal with those sad feelings, because that book, oh God, that book, I still have no words. It's crazy. So Roll for Reads, planning to do these monthly, hopefully, moving forward, and this is going to be a new staple on my channel. Now, when we do gear up for a new reading channel, I'm going to need new prompts for the D20s. Whether that is things that you guys give me or things that I come up with similar, we'll make the chart for the next year's reading journal, and those will be the prompts moving through. And we might have like 2 charts so that it's not the same chart through the entire year. So if you have ideas for either good things or the Nat 1, which is the worst thing, or the Nat 20 for the best, I'm happy to have those. Please leave those in the comments. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. I know it's been a while. Life has been crazy and hectic and lots of things, but I'm back on my Booktube bullshit, and I love yapping to you guys about books. So look forward to some cool new things. It's fall, and in case you guys haven't seen this sweatshirt before, I don't remember if I've worn it or not, but I like books more than people, and it's fall, so the introverted coziness of this Capricorn girly will be staying at home with her books, being cozy with YouTube videos like this, and hopefully getting you guys good, cool things and cool content. And in the other news of things that I am doing, you guys can check me out over on Quest Junkies. We are slowly but surely later this year coming back, and we will be having some cool new things for the D&D community, you know, since this is where I got the idea, is my D&D group. So our Vampire the Masquerade team is coming back with a new season that we are currently filming. If I might say so myself, it is some of my best RP moments as a player. I'm super incredibly proud of that. And then just in general, Quest Junkie content is coming back, and it's going to be awesome. There's a lot of cool things coming up and getting ready. In the meantime, I will still be here yapping about books, hopefully trying to find some kind of happy medium content-wise, because I missed you guys and I missed yapping about books. And the next time you see me, my hair will not be like 4 different colors. We had to keep rescheduling getting my hair done because my car broke down in April. My schedule with work got switched around so much over the summer, so it was constantly playing tag of what we're doing with my hair. Which is why it looks as crazy as it does right now today. So pay no mind to the crazy hair. As my D&D friends know, the crazier the session, the fluffier my hair gets. So hopefully this will look a little bit different the next time you see me. But much love to my book nerds, my dice nerds. Check out Jazzy. I will leave her down in the comments, her Etsy shop. I think she has it on TikTok as well, but I will leave her shop down there where I got all of my cool dice. And then we'll see you next time on my channel. If you haven't, like, subscribe, you know, all the normal booktube things. Bye nerds.